one of the guys that I was selling ecstasy to in Lubbock, he asked me if I could get keys. So I said yes. And I went and I asked my girlfriend's brother-in-law, and he told me, he said, look, dude, he goes, you got a lot going for you. You're on the dean's list. You're going to school. I know you're going to go to law school. You talk about it all the time. And he said, I think if you got caught, you know what I mean, you'd snitch. And he said, I'm already going to prison for 6.5 years, so I'd have to do another 10 years on top of that. And I said, you know what? I respect that. Went home to the apartment, told my girlfriend, and I remember she had the pink Nokia 6600 phone. She picked it up, she went into the room, shut the door, came out less than 2 minutes later and just nonchalantly threw it on the counter and said, it's done. And started selling keys of coke to this guy in Lubbock. The guy in Lubbock, so I got busted July of 2002. In September of 2001, he had sold coke to to a confidential informant on a DEA task force up there. And so rather than him going to prison, he became a confidential informant himself. So now he's a confidential informant, but at the same time, he's selling coke behind their back. And some of the coke that he sells behind the task force back is to another confidential informant. So they introduce him to an undercover cop. He starts selling directly to the undercover cop. It was all the coke that I was bringing him. And then he tells me that the guy wants a key. Said, okay, fine. Asked him who is he. He goes, oh, it's a guy that I've been, selling all your coke to. I've known him since high school. Of course, he's lying through his teeth. And brought a key up there. As soon as I got into the parking lot, I knew I was cooked. I knew it was over. So Justin got the key, got out, gave it to him. He called me in the car for a little bit. And at that point, it was just, I knew there was nothing I could do. Remember, I was real uneasy in the car though. I was trying not to say much because I knew he was an undercover cop. So we got out of the car, left the Arby's parking lot. And as soon as you pull out the Arby's parking lot, you see Texas State Troopers in front of you, Texas State Troopers behind you. And I remember there was a Jeep Grand Cherokee with these 4, big grown men, all had sunglasses on, and they're just looking straight. And it's just, at that point, they weren't even really trying to blend in. So we leave the red light. They go to try to contain me. I go around them. They back up into my car. I still got around them, went and got on the jug handle, came across, immediately hit the median and just boom, 130 miles an hour. And we actually were able to get away, but there was a small Cessna that the troopers would use on some of those big highways up there in West Texas to do radar. And so there was one in the area, so they called them in. They provided support for them, so they knew where we were. So I got arrested and was sentenced to 90 months when I was 22 years old.